Alright, how we doing, folks? It's your boy Marcos, kicking it off here. Manic Monday, part 1. Y'all new to the segment. Basically on Friday, I asked you to give me a class. Any setup, any game mode, any kill streak, anything you want for me to do. And I'll give it a shot, play throughout the weekend, put up some good footage on Monday. So this is part 1. This is the first game I ever played with this class. Raw, unedited, unfiltered. Just the first game I put on and see what happens. So this class was given by my man Fabio FSIT. Basically it's a 5-7. And then Perk 1 is lightweight. Perk 2 is danger close, pardon me. Perk 2 is fast hands. Perk 3 is engineer. And then we got 2 C4s and the double EMP. So let me hop right into impressions on the... Oh, my man, Superfly. Man, that just hurt me right now on my back. So brutal. Let me tell you about looking into corners. I normally check the catwalk, so that was kind of an aberration. I didn't look over there. But aside from, you know, a couple pivotal corners, like for example a catwalk there, or the kitchen and raid in the money room, I really don't check most corners. If you're playing search, it's different. If you're playing search, you better look at everything, or else you're gonna die. Playing in a more fluid game type, you know, like team deathmatch or kill confirm, the domination, I really just, I don't feel like doing it, man. I don't got the time for that. I didn't pay $60 to go and look into corners, man. If I want to look at the corners, I'll just stay in my room and look at the 4 corners I got here. So I really struggle with that. I think you gotta find a balance. And you know, especially obviously if like the radar shows you that there's somebody there, you want to look at it. That's just common sense. But in terms of going in, and I see people that look at every single corner, that's just too much work. I'll let the guy get the kill off me, and I'll go get him again and call it even, or somebody else will get him. Chucking over here the C4 and then getting flashed. Now push back over here. I see a teammate. I'm like, uh-oh, nice. But he didn't last too long. So we get 1, get 2, and then I was hurt, and I knew I had to go for the headshot, so I stood up. But come on, man. That was 4 people they threw at me over there. That's a little bit too much. These guys were very catwalk-oriented, which is a big trouble for me, because normally I like to sneak around the catwalk. Go out there, get 1. I see a lot more dots. I'm like, hold on. We're going to lay down right here, rest, relaxation. Both those guys get popped, and come out here and get the hip fire on this guy. So, the 5-7. Let me hop right into this. The first impression, I was really impressed by its range. Now, I've used it a little bit in sharpshooter, so I'm not 100% new to it. But for the most part, I really didn't know much about the 5-7. So I was really impressed by its range in a positive way. You know, aiming down sight, you could get a guy from pretty far away, which is a pretty good thing, especially for a pistol. Really quick to aim down sight too. I mean, you could just turn around, boom, hit the LT button, hit the trigger button, or whatever you use on the PS3 or computer, and you are right there aiming at the guy. Pretty impressed by that. Hip fire is not that good. I do get a couple kills here with some hip firing. Managed to get that guy with the last bullet. Praise the Lord, baby Jesus. Do get a couple kills with the hip fire, especially when you're just in an extreme situation where you need it. But it's definitely not recommended. It's not something that's that good with this gun. The main gripe I have with it is the fact that it's a single fire gun. And I have this with all single fire weapons. That's why, you know, I don't care if the select fire makes it weaker. I'm putting on the select fire. I was tired. I played this maybe for like an hour and a half, and I couldn't play anymore. I was physically in pain, which isn't something you want to do when you play video games. You know, being in pain isn't synonymous with video games. It's not like I'm working out or anything. I was in pain, man. My trigger finger was hurting just because it's so tedious to shoot so quickly. And I got a lot of hate mail. This guy's going to come here, he'll jump me right there. Good kill with that 12. I got a lot of hate mail for how fast I was shooting. Modded controllers, I got a couple messages. I got a couple of get a life messages. Just because people aren't used to seeing a single fire pistol or a single fire weapon shooting so fast. But I was going all out with that, man. I had 20 bullets. I had to make sure I lay them out right there. A little hip fire action right there. It's not impossible to hip fire. Superfly, man. This guy, if it wasn't for him, man, we could have had some serious good gameplay here. Good for him. It's not impossible to hit fire, but it's definitely not something I'd recommend. It's tough. It's just a little bit difficult to do. It's a little bit difficult to get used to, especially with the 5.7. Duck over here, let that score drone do a little bit of work right there for me. Give that guy the C4 because he had a nice head glitch right there. Didn't want to try to challenge that. And the lightning strike gets me. My man Superfly again. But I tell you, man, this guy's amazing. He's probably one of the best Black Ops 2 players I've seen in my lifetime on this day. So I'm trying to get that guy from afar over there, and that's not a far at all gunfight for the 5.7. That's a pretty good range for it. This guy's trying to lay down a sentry gun right there. Give me the kill. Give me the sentry gun kill. Throw the C4 at that. Doesn't do anything. Okay, we out. Had to reload. In terms of reloading, though, it's only got 20 bullets in the clip. It's not that much of a bullet in clip compared to other weapons in this. You know, like a PW, MP7 got a lot more. But it does a trick. Especially if you're hitting them, it's not really that catastrophic. So I'm gonna heal up right here. I'm hearing that there's somebody coming for me, but he was a lot closer than I expected, and he managed to pop me with the 5.7. Go figure. You know, I'll do it because y'all asked me to do it for the Manic Monday video, but I wouldn't run a 5.7 on my own. So something wrong with that guy. Try to come over here, managed to get him. Thank you for the flashbangs. Now let's talk a little bit about perks. Let's talk about a little bit about these professionals I saw the other day when I was at work. I was watching those COD championship things. And it spoke a lot to me about, you know, how big the pistols are in this game. I mean, those guys were basically using, a couple were using like an MA1, but most of them were using an MSMC and a Cap 40. Just about everybody had a Cap 40 secondary to switch over. Now, you all know that switching over to a gun is always faster than reloading the gun. Even though I always kind of been skeptical of that, but officially that's how it is. I've never had it work so positively, but these guys were doing a good job with it, and they were running around and murdering people with the Cat 40. And you see a lot of people in this game just running around with the Cat 40. Honestly, it's up there as one of the best guns, which is kind of strange to say for a pistol. But I think it's kind of the effects of the pick 10 system. You know, you got to pick 10 things. They got to make sure all 10 are pretty much usable and that they can compete. So they need to bump up the pistols a little bit. I don't think they're exactly like overpowered per se to the point where like it breaks the game. I think they're a little more powered maybe than they should be. But 9 times out of 10, I'm killing pistol guy. He's not killing me. So I don't really have that much of an issue with it. But I was pretty surprised about how they're being used over there. And also pretty surprised about the first perk I'm running here, lightweight. Everybody was using lightweight in this professional game thing. And it really caught my interest. I was wondering, I'm like, wow, lightweight, really? Like, I rarely ever run it. Like, these guys, they need it. And I understood why. You know, they needed to get from point A to point B. They needed to do their halo jump, their drop shots as quick as possible. So in a controlled environment like that, I could see how that is very useful. Especially when you know what the other opponents are doing. You know, these guys, they know exactly what's going on. They know that nobody's going to be using C4 in this lobby. It's now all of a sudden going to catch them by surprise that this cat's using C4 when he isn't. In terms of still in public lobbies, definitely still recommend using the flat jacket. Definitely still recommend, especially if you're playing, you know, game types where getting the score streaks might be a little bit more difficult. For example, like team deathmatch, I still run a hard line. On small maps, which are just about most of these maps, I still run the flat jacket. But if you're going into more of a competitive type gaming sphere, you probably want to look at the lightweight. If you're going into using a pistol, even knives, you definitely want to look into lightweight. Get that extra smooth beast, and you know, just get that feeling too, man. You kind of, it's very strange. It makes you feel like you're invincible, even though rationally there's no way that you're invincible. All you are is just a little bit faster. Alright, so we're coming up over here to the end of this video. We're on 43 and 17. Not bad, especially for the first time touching this gun right here in a environment like this. Pretty satisfied with that. Make sure you check out part 2 coming up later.